I remember seeing the Elvis comeback special as a kid. I don't remember when it was, but I remember seeing a close-up of his face on a small television screen. He was singing the opening lines of Trouble from King Creole. "You're looking for trouble? You came to the right place. I was born standing up and talking back." The camera pulled back to show him dressed in black with a guitar strapped around his neck. That's all it took. My life was forever changed. I remember the boxing ring where Elvis, clad in black leather, belted out his hits and sat around playing guitar and reminiscing with his old bandmates. Whenever I felt low, all it took was his voice to cheer me up. He had a God-given gift that made you feel better. And rock and roll never sounded or felt so good.
I became aware of Elvis when I was about 8 years old. It was 1973. Elvis did Aloha from Hawaii, and it was on TV, and my mom called me down and said, "Steve, come watch this. You have to watch it. It's history in the making." And when I saw Elvis come out on stage wearing that jumpsuit with the eagle on it, it was like looking at a Greek god. It was just amazing, and it just captured me.
Well, I was very, very young. I don't, probably because I had older sisters who listened to Elvis. They were like 10 years older than me, so they were into Elvis. So I think I always heard, you know, like maybe when I was like, I don't know, certainly by 7, you know, I was listening, I heard new of Elvis, yeah.
Tell you the truth, I don't know. He's just always been there, you know. I remember, like, before I could even walk, I remember my sister having the RCA records. I didn't quite know it was Elvis, but I was aware of the songs, you know. It was wild in the country, actually.
The first time I became aware of Elvis was when he first came out. I'm thinking. In 1956, I'm 79, I'll be 79 this year.
Elvis affected my life positively in many ways. I mean, he's always there, you know, in any problems. When I get sad or angry, you know, I put on some Elvis music, it's there. It's the one constant. And as far as it's, you know, he's helped me raise my family. He's helped me put food on the table. Me and many other ETAs, hundreds, thousands of Elvis impersonators out there, and he's just been an influence in my life because he makes my life better.
I'd say he's really a very, very big influence. You know, I mean, I think Elvis is like the greatest. I think that he's the greatest rock and roll singer. But in my pantheon, the two top is Elvis and the Beatles. Those are, everybody else comes after that.
Well, I don't think the Beatles would have happened without Elvis. You know, he was a big influence on the Beatles, and I wouldn't have happened without the Beatles, you know. I'm all over the Beatles stuff, you know.
I listened to his records, and when I heard his records, I always ran to make sure I was in the crowd, you know, dancing and oh, nice and happy. Yeah, they made you feel good. That was September the 9th, 1956.
And that's the.
And it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday night, and he appeared on Ed Sullivan for the first time that we heard of.
Okay, so you got married the same day.
Yeah, September 9th, 1956.
I mean, you could talk about his effect on culture. I mean, even his effect on culture as far as the first anti-culture, with teenagers not listening to their parents, saying, "We're going out, we're listening to this music. Don't you listen to that? We'll listen to going against their parents." And that was big for the time. And parents didn't know how to handle that. And a lot of what they said was that, you know, that this is going to lead to to, you know, who knows what it's going to lead to, and they were right.
Probably, you know, the most important thing was that he made people love rock and roll. I mean, you know, he probably got a lot of people inspired to play rock and roll. And other than that, I think he probably, and by the very virtue of that, people, rock and roll is music that people everybody can try it. You don't have to be a class, you know, like a musician, for instance, really, to play rock and roll. You know, anybody can do rock and roll. You just have to love it. You know, so maybe he inspired a lot of bands. But I would say that Elvis inspired everybody. Everybody that followed him was inspired, and that means everybody from the Beatles to the Ramones to, you know, whoever, man. Everybody, you know, he's that important. He's the most important. You know?
Oh man, taking the black music to the masses. You know, that's basically it. You know, change the world.
Love Me Tender.
Depends on the mood. Many times, like Bridge Over Troubled Water, Gave Me a Mountain, Never Been to Spain sometimes. It's just
The
how
later
you feel.
songs.
Yeah, no, but also the 50s. I mean, like this morning I was listening to Hot Dog and Got a lot of loving to do, and there's just so many. It's too many to have one favorite. It's more of what your mood is.
I love the Sun stuff. I like Don't. I like every. You know, I love Don't a lot. I love you know, Mystery Train. I love You're a Heartbreaker. I mean, there's so many. You know, I mean, there's. I'm blown away. I tell people, Elvis to me doesn't seem human. What he did, you know. It doesn't seem human. It seems like a person from another planet, you know. But I even love some of his later stuff, you know, like I'm Coming Home. I think that's a great record. And,
I really like Lloyd and Miss Claudie.
Back in the Sun period.
Oh, it just, you know, gets in there. It's like his voice tears into it, you know.
My favorite Elvis period is probably, I like the 70s the most, but as far as musically, he was probably at his happiest and best in the 50s, when he was just raw rock and roll. His voice developed in the 60s. He had some beautiful songs, and his voice was really amazing during the movies. And he did some beautiful songs, but the movies were terrible, so the songs didn't get the credit. But his voice was really developing in the real deep end, and it was really beautiful. But it was kind of wasted because of the movies. But then, if it wasn't for the movies, there would have been no comeback special. So there would have been nothing to come back from. It was more of when with the comeback special, it was like, okay, I'm still the king, because he was doing those stupid movies, and the Beatles were here, and the British invasion, and rock, and everything changed, and he was not allowed to change. He had to stay the same. So I guess the comeback period was probably when I would say that creatively he really started to take control of his own music and sound.
yeah, the 50s are my favorite. And then the Sun especially.
Oh, it's the 50s, without a doubt. You know, the young Elvis swinging that thing, baby. You know.
I say the 50s. Yeah, when he came out. I liked him right away when he came out.
Got Elvis hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand when I sing and do my recording, so I got him standing there.
Pez they don't make real people too much. This is, you know, one of the few real people they make. They usually make, you know, fictional characters. They started making real ones though, but this was one of the first real ones when they started making them.
That's a telephone, a real phone.
Push
Yeah.
the button.
And it plays music.
Oh.
His hips were more, but they don't seem to move anymore.
It's getting tired.
High speed.
Oh, that's a throw. I got the pillow as a gift. Yeah, and the throw I bought. I sent away for that. The cup I got, I had went to see a show of it was somebody imitating him, but they were selling his stuff.
Elvis' stuff.
Yes, yeah, Elvis' stuff.
Elvis impersonator.
Yeah, impersonator. I think I got 4 of them.
Oh, the Elvis
Glasses.
glasses. Okay.
Next to Santa Claus.
Huh.
Yeah. The very end one. Oh yeah, you get closer. Yeah. Oh my God. He was selling them. I saw that, I like that.
Where'd you get the Hawaiian? Do you know?
Huh? What?
Do you know where you got the Hawaiian picture from?
No. And this came out of, this was the pocketbook my daughter bought me.
Okay.
Here's only one side on
Okay.
this one.
Show me the other sides.
I have this here. It was just in the paper. It was a folder. You know, and I took it out.
Okay.
Hold it. You can see all the pictures. Oh, there's some pictures back here of him.
Yeah.
Okay. This I got in the magazine.
Yeah.
I found it in the magazine and I thought it was nice. I
Wow.
took it out. And I think I'm going to have it laminated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it'll stay better. And this is the back of it.
Okay. Great. Right there.
All right, his parents.
Right about, yeah.
Right. My
These-
grandchildren, my 2 grandsons gave me that one.
With the gold
The
suit?
gold one, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was nice.
Okay. Great.
And I'll take the bags away. This way,
Mm-hmm.
in case you want to take a better one.
Okay, got it.
I think Thomas, my daughter bought me that.
You burn my house, steal my car, drink my liquor from an old blue jar. We'll do anything that you wanna do. But honey, lay off of my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoes.
No, not yet.
Baby suit.
For you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Rock it!
And I had got some candy. My luggage.
Oh, where'd you get that?
My daughter bought it for me.
Wow.
She sent it away for it.
It's nice.
They're all different pictures. So. I have it a couple of years ago. I sent away for that. Oh, yeah. Well, it did play music, but it doesn't play anymore. It played 2 songs, Love Me Tender and Jailhouse Rock. Or something like that.
Okay.
But it keeps a good time. These 2 I have.
Oh, wow. So there's the collection.
Yeah.
Great.
I think I like to say to tell people when people who don't know about Elvis ask me like, why is Elvis so important? You know, like because I tell them this. I said he's the greatest white blues singer that ever lived. So by that, and he's more than that. But that kind of like gets their attention, you know, because then it takes it somewhere where they maybe haven't thought about. But he was. I really truly believe that he was the best white blues singer that ever lived, man.
I just want to add that one of Elvis's biggest fears was that he would be forgotten. But we can see 35 years later that the legend keeps growing. And just the fact that you're doing an interview with someone like me, you know, it just shows you the legacy of Elvis and the community of friendship and the community of people. And it's just amazing. There's competitions and events going on all over the world, in different countries. Every weekend there are festivals and contests drawing thousands and thousands of people. There are young Elvis impersonators, 5 years old in full outfits that are doing the moves, and little girls. It's just an amazing thing that might not ever end. It might, in 200 years they'll still be doing it. It's just amazing. It's just it's become a life of its own, and hopefully it'll never end.
Shackled by a heavy burden, 'neath a load of guilt and shame, then the hand of Jesus touched me. He touched me, and now I am no longer the same. He touched me, oh, he touched me, and oh, the joy that flooded my soul. Something happened, and now I know he touched me and made me whole.